Now it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhale frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, you know, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Poplar, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great.
Just not cannabis.
Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Don't tease me.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical Russ Belville.
Oh, yeah, welcome back, everybody.
And the crowd goes wild.
The crowd has gone wild. It's 4:02 in the Pacific time zone. That's 4:20 for our dyslexic friends out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Toker Talk Radio, Hour 2, where we let what's left of my hair down and have ourselves a little fun. We got Wiz Kaliko in the studio.
Aloha. I'm actually having that same problem about letting what's left of my hair down.
I know, it happens.
Huh, interesting.
They go away, man. It's no fun. I don't like it. It's something we all have to live with. But
such is life.
Yes, yes. What am I looking for here? I got a bunch of stuff I have to load up. There it is. There it is. I just wanted to have the appropriate sound effect because apparently, somehow, in the studio, we've ended up at a gun show. I just came up with a great idea, man.
What's that?
For a little ad blurbs that we could do.
Okay.
We could run virally.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Hi, I'm Russ Belville, and I support legalization. And I'm Meathead Russ Belville. I support prohibition.
Yes.
Do you like those Rob Lowe ads?
I love the Rob Lowe ads.
I'm bad decision-making, Rob Lowe. I haven't decided which one's my favorite. My wife loves the one with the arm curtains, the hairy
yes.
the arm hair curtains.
that is a genius marketing campaign that they have on their hands there.
So we're gonna appropriate that and have the I support legalization and I support prohibition.
Using Sam Seaborn from The West Wing also.
Yeah,
so wonderful.
Great stuff. Coming up later on in the show, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on with the DEA, or not DEA, the ONDCP, the Drug Czar's office. The Drug Czar's office has actually issued some guidelines that I'm like totally in favor of. I'm amazed. And me and this Botticelli guy, he's like that Pope Frank. He's going to get me in some places, I think.
I like that. You know, it's interesting because I had noticed that. Oh, hello, Bunny. Evil Bunny. I had noticed that Allison Holcomb had posted a picture recently that she was at the White House working on some stuff on behalf of the ACLU. So, slowly we're working our way into the institutions over there in D.C.
Now, if you're not watching on our live webcam, you may not have recognized that one of those Utah Stoner Bunnies has showed up in our room here.
Oh my goodness.
Utah Stoner Bunny. Yeah, the news, if you caught the news, of course, during testimony in the Utah State Senate about a proposed medical marijuana bill, a DEA agent warned that he has observed rabbits become addicted to the plant after eating it at grow sites, getting high all the time, and starting to follow humans around. They lose their fear of humans, so we'll give him a little blunt there. He's Thug Thumper.
Thug Thumper.
That's I said his name is Thug
goodness.
Thumper. Thumper the Thug.
Oh, those people in Utah.
Thumper THA Thug. Thumper the Thug. Right, we're gonna go real thug.
Okay. I got you.
You got Thumper the Thug, straight out of Utah.
Speaking of agreeing with people who you wouldn't necessarily think that you'd be agreeing with. Did you happen to see any of the headlines coming out of CPAC and Ted Cruz talking about states' rights on marijuana?
I saw that CPAC was happening. I was distracted by Phil Robertson, the Duck Dynasty
yeah,
guy,
that's right.
Looking all Osama bin Laden up there on the podium.
Looking at Osama bin Laden, blaming everything on the hippies.
Yeah, those damn hippies. Hippies and their jizz. Jizzing everywhere, those damn hippies.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
No, what happened with Ted Cruz?
Okay, so Ted Cruz, I mean, they had all these interviews with these potential presidential candidates, and Sean Hannity had a chance to interview Ted Cruz and, asked him kind of a few questions back to back that they were asking everyone regarding, same-sex marriage and a few of the other social topics. And one of the things they touched on was marijuana. And Ted Cruz basically came out and said that, if he was living in Colorado, he wouldn't have voted for it. He doesn't necessarily agree with it, but the states have the right to do what they want.
Yeah, this is an interesting... Marijuana is going to be a fantastic issue for this 2016 presidential race because it threatens to tear apart that three-legged stool of the GOP. Their three-legged stool of you get your evangelicals, your business types, and then there's a third leg. Which is the third leg? I forget.
Business, evangelicals, and I don't know, social conservatives. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I guess social conservatives is the evangelicals.
But
Warhawks.
Warhawks. There you go. But those social conservative types, right, that think marijuana's a devil weed and it should never be legalized, are running up against these Tea Party type libertarian types. They're like, well, hold on, wait. If we tell them what to do about marijuana, then they can tell us what to do about abortion or immigration or whatever else the boilerplate issue is there. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a tough issue for some of the Republicans to negotiate around. Rand Paul has set himself up in a really good spot as far as that stuff goes. But,
even Jeb Bush came out and said that he was starting to support states' rights on marijuana.
Yeah, Jeb Bush supports Bush rights to marijuana and drugs. He was Mr. Anti-Drug Florida until his daughter Noelle got caught with crack, and then suddenly, treatment is an option.
Oh, suddenly our family members do that too. Yeah. Happens.
America's R7 secret agent of progressive change.
The name's Belville. Russ Belville.
This is the Russ Belville Show.
That's some old school bumper there. So The Onion got a hold of the Stoned Bunny thing, and here are their comments asking the American voices. I love Jack Beatty's response. After all the lies that have been spread about the dangers of marijuana, it's kind of nice to hear a new irrational fear. Ryan Krause, a systems analyst, said, rabbits are going to be getting high anyway. Better that it be safe, legal, and regulated. And finally, Natalie Falk said, you've got to hand it to the DEA for thinking this all the way through. We're back in just a minute.
.420 Radio, the world's voice of marijuana legalization. This is Radical Russ encouraging you to take a look at the Weed Blog every day. Johnny Green and the staff at the Weed Blog are on top of all the latest developments in the fight to end marijuana prohibition nationwide. You can even get the Weed Blog on your smartphone by installing the Weed Blog app for iPhone and Android. If it's about weed, it's on the Weed Blog, including my original writing. So don't delay. Read the Weed Blog today.
Funky Roller Ring.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening, Groovy Cats? This is your Funk Master, Ceremonies Big Daddy. And I want you to join me every Thursday night at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, right here at the Funky Roller Ring.
Oh, yeah.
Your home of soul, funk, and disco, baby.
Funky-licious.
There's always a party at the Funky Roller Ring.
Oregon has joined Washington and Colorado in legalizing marijuana. We're Portland NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws chapter in Portland, Oregon. Join us as we celebrate the launch of an exciting new era in marijuana freedom in Oregon. Our job has just begun. powerful interests want to white out the most important portions of Oregon's legalization law. By joining Portland NORML, you add your voice to the thousands who voted for Measure 91 and want it to be implemented as written. The people have spoken. Now it is time for the legislature to obey the will of the people. Find out more about Portland NORML at portlandnormal.org. Attend our monthly membership meetings on the fourth Saturday of the month. See our website for more details. Portland NORML, ensuring responsible adult marijuana consumers are afforded the same rights, privileges, and responsibilities as beer drinkers.
Welcome back, everybody. It is almost 11 after the hour, hanging out here in Rolla J Studio with Wiz Coleco.
Aloha. Aloha.
That gives us a chance to go off the rails because every now and then, I'm sorry, not off the rails, off the warpath. I can't even remember the name of my own damn segment.
Ah, that's fair.
Off the warpath, where we talk about something other than the drug war. Although I can almost always find a tie back to the drug war.
It's true.
But this is where we take a chance and talk about some subject that's in the news or noteworthy that's not directly related to marijuana legalization. Today, I came upon this graphic, this little infographic, because I'm an infographic guy.
You
love
are.
this stuff.
You are.
And the infographic was entitled, "If Politicians Want to Create Jobs So Badly, Why Are They Ignoring This?"
Oh, Jesus.
And it was a source from the Political Economy Research Institute at the University of Massachusetts that said, if you invest $1 million in the following industries, you get this many jobs. So this is a jobs per $1 million. Natural gas, you get 5 jobs. Coal, you get 7. Smart grid technology, you get 12 jobs. Wind technology, you get 13. Solar energy creates 14 jobs for $1 million investment. Biomass creates 16. Building retrofitting creates 17 jobs. And $1 million invested in mass transit, freight, and rail, 22 jobs. I thought that was interesting.
That's super interesting. I guess it has to do with just all of the ancillary businesses that are affected throughout the economy when you invest in some of those other technologies, huh?
Yeah, and as somebody who's living out here in Portland, where mass transit is just a way of life, you and I both get around on our bus and
I do.
train.
I literally got over to the studio today on TriMet.
And I ran around. I went all the way downtown this morning to pick up my Zipcar card and got all the way back, went to the gym, worked out, went to the Subway, got a sandwich, did all of this on one 2.5-hour ticket. How much gas got saved, how much atmosphere got saved, how much traffic congestion got saved. Now, what didn't get saved was time. Took me, the morning.
But, sometimes it's nice to block out your day for, reading on the bus. Sometimes you get to enjoy some other thing that you don't typically get to slow down for.
So what am I doing in the beginning of the day anyway? Is answering a bunch of emails. Well, I can do that on my phone now. So I just thought this was an interesting graphic. And it is
super interesting. Mass transportation and freight rail, that's quite a few. When you're comparing it to natural gas and coal at 5 and 7, it's over triple.
Yeah.
Triple the amount.
Yeah, we can't afford to keep going that way. So
Bernie Sanders. Oh, sorry, what?
Let's sip some socialism here. You get some socialism going down here. The other story that I wanted to get to, this Ohio marijuana legalization proposal. Okay. I've been going rounds with this with my Ohio fans, and I don't blame them for being upset.
$36 million.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're saying, okay, so here's the deal. It's Responsible Ohio. Let me set the stage because a lot of people may not be following every day. Responsible Ohio is this group that has come up with this brilliant plan. They figured out, hey, if we legalize marijuana, and what we'll do is we'll make a pitch to these investors. We'll say, hey, you invested in our legalization campaign. We'll make you, and just you, one of the growers. And you can make a shit ton of money. Literally a metric shit ton. It's not an imperial shit ton. Talking metric.
Metric.
Yeah. So they got their 10 investors. They got their 10 sites that are set up. And 9 of these investors now have done filings with limited liability corporations tied to Responsible Ohio. 9 different LLCs, each contributed $4 million. So $36 million they've got. The Responsible Ohio group says they're already committed to spending $20 million to get it on the ballot. and passed. But I'd say 20 million get on the ballot. 16 million leaves you awful nice advertising.
Can we go back to just what Washington and Colorado respectively had thrown into their campaigns?
Oh, geez.
Wasn't it only like 7 million and 4 million?
Yeah, something real
It was like
low.
7 million in Washington and 4 million in Colorado.
And our Oregon campaign
we had
wasn't
like
that
80,000.
much. Yeah, it wasn't a ton. But
it was not a metric ton.
Was not even close to a metric shit ton. But yeah, $36 million to legalize Ohio. Now understand, they got to get 305,000 signatures.
It's quite a few.
That really means 500,000 signatures.
Yeah.
They got to get 500,000 or more signatures. So,
but I mean, even if you spend 3-4 million to get on the ballot, like you said, it's like
you still got a huge
still
advertising.
got a very large war chest there.
And this has got Ohio activists upset because, you know, they feel like, everybody's going to get cut out of the commercial growing.
Can we just kind of riff on this for a second? I mean,
please.
I think that there's a lot of, and rightfully so, a lot of concern that, you know, big money is coming into the marijuana industry right now and is going to shut out the small person and, you know, the mom and pop shops, if you will. And, you know, to that, I have to respond, you're right. And that sucks. And welcome to America.
Welcome to America.
No, like it sucks. And it's, you know, it's kind of, you know, kind of jaded of me to say it, but that is the way American politics and the American political economy works. You know what I mean? Let's face it. People with money come in, they buy campaigns, they buy politicians, they buy rule-making processes, and they set those things up to, you know, to benefit themselves and to benefit their bottom line and to increase, you know, feeding the beast, basically. It's just continuing to grow this thing. So, it is very disappointing to watch. And I do think that marijuana stands in a position and something we should be fighting for, and that we can show that that doesn't have to be the way it is. We don't have to, you know, go like any other industry. It doesn't have to be these big, you know, companies coming in. But you also have to understand, like we've talked before, that obviously the benefits of ending prohibition far outweighs, you know, the bad things that will happen from not having a competitive marketplace. Yeah. I mean, basically, you can get to a competitive marketplace a lot easier than you can get to ending prohibition.
Yeah.
So,
and our first attempts, you know, even going back to Prop 215 in California, were bankrolled by philanthropic billionaires. So don't think that big money hasn't had an effect, right? It's just it was big money you liked.
Well, and that
you know?
Exactly. I mean, DPA, we love them to death. Mm-hmm. A lot of big money goes into that.
Yeah. And so the first few states now that have legalized have done it for, you know, kind of a philanthropic activist sort of reason, right? It's all been backed by activists, you know, and so forth. But as we move forward, now that the dollars are evident, now that they recognize there's big money to be made here, this Ohio model of guaranteeing the marijuana market to those who invest in making it legal might become the way it's done, at least, you know, on the eastern states. I can see it really happening.
Well, and you got to figure this. We're still going state by state, and in 2016, obviously, we could see almost a dozen like working towards it. But you know, that doesn't rule out the fact that eventually we're still going to have to get to a national legalization, some sort of baseline in which it's legal, or at least up to the states to do what they want. And so you're going to see legalization change over the course of, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years many times. Like, we're going to continue to see the morphing of the marijuana industry as we, you know, doing it piecemeal. We have to basically get the markets in control in the individual states. And then as more states and more markets open up, we're going to have to get to a place where we allow for interstate commerce and things like that. So you're going to continue to see the marketplace change over and over again. This really, you know, we shouldn't be feeling like this is the end all be all and this is the end of marijuana in Ohio if we were to pass this, because really it is, like you said earlier, just the beginning, and people have to continue to show up, get involved in the rulemaking process, make sure that your politicians in your home states hear your voices, and, you know, it's not the end, it's just the beginning.
Yeah, and whatever the legalization might be, you don't get to compare it against the legalization you want, you need to compare it against the prohibition you have. That's the important thing that people have in their mind, that, well, if it's legal, anybody should be able to set up a stand and sell marijuana like at a farmer's market and everybody can benefit. And hey, I'd love that too. I would love someone to put, you know, $5, $10, $15 million into Ohio to legalize it that way. But if my choice is maintain prohibition or take a shitty legalization, I got to take the shitty legalization every time. I have yet to see a plan that makes legalization worse than prohibition. And there you have it. All right, folks, it's 4:20 here in the Pacific time zone. What are we smoking on for our break here?
You know, it's just some pretty nice hybrid. It's just some Oregon grown. I'm not really sure what the name on it is today. Didn't come from a dispensary.
Having some Oregon salad when we come back. We got Electric Bob on the line and some Electric Daily Toker tunes coming up next.
You can get 420 Radio on the go with our Shoutcast stream for all internet-enabled media players. Go to rad-r.us/420shout or just click the Shoutcast icon below the live radio feed at 420 Radio.
With over 1 billion people in the world, chances are there's somebody out there just like you. There are software engineers, pastry chefs, artists, and people with medical conditions. And what do many of these people have in common? They use marijuana. It's expected that marijuana will be legalized in California. And when that happens, what will be the biggest concern? Safety. That's where we come in. High Def Transit is a discreet shuttle service that also serves as a mobile vapor room. Members can medicate on board, while our certified drivers get you to your destination safely, so you can enjoy the ride. So hop in, make friends, and ride safe. High Def Transit.
NORML stands for Responsible Adult Cannabis Use. If cannabis use is causing problems in your life, consider taking a break or seeking medical assistance. Consider ceasing cannabis use if you have a family history of mental illness. Don't drive or operate heavy machinery while impaired by cannabis use. Cannabis use is not without risks, even though the risks may be far less than those posed by legal drugs.
Get.Buzz. .Buzz is the internet platform that fuels community interest, excitement, and new experiences. .Buzz is the premier online destination for internet users seeking the latest news on a variety of topics. .Buzz appeals to groups active in blogging, communications, journalism, advertising, and marketing. .Buzz offers registrants a stronger alternative to the shrinking namespace of existing top-level domain names, such as .com, .net, and .org. Get your name now at get.buzz.
Everyone knows music and marijuana go together, so let's wind up our 20 after break with the Russ Belville Show's Daily Toker Tunes, the best in pod-safe 420 music from around the web. Today is Electric Tuesday, featuring the latest in electronic dance music and other cutting-edge genres. Now, sit back and enjoy your Daily Toker Tune.
All right, welcome back, everybody. 4:23 here in the Pacific time zone, our last week of standard time. So make sure you get those clocks changed and don't miss our 4:20 break next week. It'll be an hour later. Right, spring forward. There we go. Joining us on the phone, we got Electric Bob calling us from Arizona. How you doing, Bob? Bob.
I'm doing good, and hey, I don't have to change my my clocks because we don't observe daylight savings time in Arizona.
That's right. Arizona don't need no stinking daylight savings.
It's in the land of John McCain.
Hey, man.
We're mavericks out there.
When the daylight brings 120-degree temperatures, you don't want to save none of that.
That's true.
So, Bob, what's happening, man?
Yeah.
Just chilling?
Nothing really. There's some interesting stuff going on with Safer Arizona. They're trying. Someone introduced a bill to change the language in the law that says, because under Arizona law, you can't legalize anything that's federally scheduled or federally illegal. So they're trying to change that language.
Gotcha. Okay, so...
And there's also a...
No, go ahead.
And there's also a hemp study bill that got its second hearing, and it's going to its third hearing pretty soon.
Excellent. That's good news to hear. And last I saw, the medical program in Arizona had about 63,000 patients, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So things going okay in Arizona, and looking forward to possible legalization attempt in 2016. What's the latest on that?
I haven't heard much. There's a lot of protesting going on right now. MPP has done a lot of redrafts of the law that's coming up. There's going to be if it goes through, there's going to be a retroactive for anyone that's been convicted you either expunge it or go to a resentencing hearing to get everything get everything cleaned up.
Oh, that would be really
And
helpful.
there's it'd be the first to go in. And also there's some language about concentrates and marijuana are going to be separate in the language, and 5 grams of concentrate illegal. Anything up to 14 is a petty misdemeanor. Anything over that is still a misdemeanor, but it's a higher class misdemeanor, which is a lot better than what we have now, which is if a cop finds a stem, it's up to his discretion, but he can hit you with a felony.
My goodness. All right. So things getting a little bit better in Arizona, which I always say is one of the tougher states in America to be a cannabis consumer. Any amount can be considered a felony there in Arizona. So you always have to be really careful. Now, I've been looking for the download and I thought I saw it flash up on my screen, but I'm not seeming to find it in my list here. What's the song you're looking for?
I just sent you another link right now on Skype.
Ah, there we go.
D-Bridge Rendezvous.
There we go. We'll do it that way. All right. So let's get to our daily toker tune.
You can get 420 radio on the go.
Let me kill that and go to our daily toker tune. This is D-Bridge with Rendezvous.
You can get 420 Radio on the go with the TuneIn Radio app for all mobile platforms. Go to rad-r.us/420tunein or just click the TuneIn Radio icon below the live radio feed on 420radio.org. The law offices of Omar Figueroa would like to remind you to stand up for your rights. If you're detained or arrested, treat law enforcement with respect and stand up for your rights by repeating, "I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search and seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to speak with my attorney." Please contact the law offices of Omar Figueroa at 415-489-0420 or 707-829-0215 or on the web at omarfigueroa.com.
Hey, this is Big Daddy, and I want you to know it's never too late to join me at the Funky Roller Ring every Thursday night, right here on 420 Radio.
Funky Roller Ring. I like it like that.
Growing plants indoors can be a rewarding hobby, but electricity bills can go through the roof. Then you have to cool down all those big hot lights. It can drive a grower insane. With Lush LED lighting, you can solve many of these issues and double your rewards. Matt and his scientists have developed the perfect light for flowering plants with far less cost and heat. And the results? Very effective. Check out LushLEDlighting.com right now and tell them Radical Russ sent you.
Welcome back, everyone. 34 after the hour. You're listening to some music here from Through the Roots. The song's called Bear With Me, and we're bringing this up in the background to tell you a terrible story.
Yeah, well, you know, so far it's been kind of a bummer. My buddies from Through the Roots, an awesome band out of San Diego, California, are out on tour with The Green right now out in the southeastern states, and, you know, their bus caught on fire yesterday.
Damn.
I was going through my Instagram feed and I saw this flaming bus and I was like, oh, that looks like Through the Roots bus. And then I looked at the Instagram and it was Through the Roots bus on fire. And so, you know, there were a couple of the guys were in the bus at the time when their engine had caught on fire. They managed to get out, thankfully. They were all made it to safety, but they lost all of their belongings. Their backpacks filled with their laptops, their clothes, their wallets, all of their personal belongings were gone. They managed to save a lot of their equipment that was in their trailer. But, you know, now they just need a little bit of help getting back on their feet. So some of their friends and their fans have created a GoFundMe page to basically start accepting donations to get them some of the stuff replaced. Obviously, you can't replace a lot of the personal items that, you know, really don't have a value placed on them other than sentimental. But, you know, we're at least trying to get them a little bit of monetary help there so that we can get them back touring, and they're going to continue to try to finish the tour that they're on right now. But, you know, obviously it's a little tough without their tour bus.
Yeah, it's tough when your bus catches fire. Let's check out some more of this video. Real good music, and we should have done this on a Wednesday, but still. So, let's go back.
For days, but we never stop. I've got my backpack packed to fill, yes, packed with props, tools in my mind, knowledge to swap. Take me away, leaving me with none. Climb up to the hills, I'm having dinner with the sun. I can't wait to find top feels divine. Patience, my friend, the key is just time. Serene, I'll be at the spot at the top with a fat sack of green. We can contemplate, figure out what this means. I can support or get out as a team. Race for the storm that's coming. Yeah, I love who you are becoming. Don't have to move fast, stop running, but we gotta keep climbing. Tranquil and soothing, challenge still looming. Quiet and calm, but we've gotta keep moving. Next to your eyes,
Again, that's Through the Roots. That's Bear With Me, and that's a guy from Revolution singing.
Yeah, featuring Eric Rachmani of Revolution, the lead singer of Revolution. And actually, that song was produced by Live Animo, which is the production company of Leslie Ludiazzo and J.P. Kennedy, J.P. Of The Green, and Les, originally one of the founding members of The Green, who's since gone on to produce a lot of other music for artists there in Hawaii. And is a part of the Hot Rain Band, the backing band for Jay Boog. So a lot of reggae greats in that on that one track. So a lot of talent going on.
That's great stuff. All right, so help them out if you can through the roots.
Yeah, actually, you could go to theweedblog.com right now. It's my first blog post in several years. I wrote a blog this morning about what had happened to the boys, and it includes a link to their GoFundMe page. So if you just go to theweedblog.com, you'll see Through the Roots Bus Catches on Fire. It's one of the top articles today, so check it out.
All right, earlier in the show, I had promised you a stunning, stunning development that I find myself in complete agreement with the drug czar.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Me and Mr. Botticelli, the current U.S. drug czar, is talking about the words we use to describe drug addiction. And to reduce that stigma, we need to start changing the language for people struggling with the disease. Now, I will throw up some caveats on this. Right? I don't subscribe to the notion of the disease model of addiction. I'm much more in the Stanton Peele, Johan Hari camp of feeling it's more a problem of socialization and connection that is lost. People get addicted to a lot of things, and not all of those things are drugs. So it's not the drugs necessarily. So I worry about that disease model because it leads people into that. It rewires your brain and hijacks it and all that kind of BS.
Well, you can rewire your brain at any point.
Right. There's all sorts of, everything you do rewires your brain. That's why you survive.
You're constantly rewiring your
Exactly. So I worry about that, and then I worry about the notion of political correctness, where we're just going to change the names of things and
just
how
make
we
it
talk
softer
about things.
sounding.
Yeah, the kinder, gentler drug war.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this, because I think there is, even absent those concerns that I just mentioned, there is a positive in changing the way we talk about things, the way we talk about the language you use. Now, I've gotten onto this about marijuana versus cannabis before, but I think that's a different situation, because marijuana is actually an accurate term. It describes the dried sinsemilla flowers of cannabis. It's a more specific term than cannabis. You say you're a cannabis consumer, you could be eating root for all I know. You could be eating seeds. All of that is cannabis, right? Cannabis is a broad term. And the people out there, they're like, I can't say marijuana because it's racist. Well, it's not racist. It's a Mexican slang term. It's no more racist.
It's technically now a legal term.
Yeah, it's a legal term. It's in our legal language, and it's no more racist than chimichanga, right? Chimichanga is a slang term too. But if I started calling a bunch of Mexican people a bunch of lazy chimichanga eaters, then it becomes racist.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, that's a racist thing if you use it that way. Mm-hmm. But the word chimichanga itself is not racist. It's just a word. Mm-hmm. All right, so put that aside for a second. Botticelli here is saying we need to change the way that we talk about drug abuse. And to do so, the White House's Office of National Drug Control Policy has drafted a preliminary glossary of suggested language. Would you like to hear the suggested
yes,
language?
Please.
All right, let's see if we can get this. So, we no longer should be saying the word addict. That'd be bad. Now we want to say person with a substance use disorder.
Okay, so basically they're trying to be the anti-Twitter right now.
I guess so.
They're making it tough for me to tweet.
yeah, exactly. If we're gonna, political correctness always adds syllables.
Yes.
Remember that famous George Carlin riff where he went from shell shock to battle fatigue to post-traumatic stress disorder?
No.
Like the more syllables you add, the softer it gets.
Yes.
It's like padding, right? All right. So we don't want to say that someone is addicted to marijuana. We would say that the person has a marijuana use disorder. Okay. We don't want to talk about addiction. We want to talk about substance abuse disorder. We don't want to talk about an alcoholic. No. Person with an alcohol use disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Here's one that I love. About Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. When using these terms, take care to avoid divulging an individual's participation in a named 12-step program. Yeah, I always thought that was funny when, you'd go to court for your DUI or your drug case, right? And the judge would sentence you to Narcotics Anonymous. Well, wait a minute. Isn't a sentence like a public document? Here's a document that says, I'm going to Narcotics Anonymous. That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Illogical.
We are supposed to now not talk about someone being clean. We talk about them being abstinent.
Yes.
Now, the reason being, you talk about someone being clean, well, the opposite of clean would be dirty. Just kind of like the opposite of patient would be criminal in some people's minds. Person does not take a drug test and get a clean screen. They get a substance-free screen. Someone is not dirty if they're using. They are actively using.
I like that.
But here's one that I'll quibble with. I don't think it should be user. I don't think we're drug users. I think we're drug consumers.
Yeah, consuming.
You use a tool. You use a service, right? You consume a substance. You consume an edible. Nobody would...
You use a blowtorch to take a dab.
Right. Nobody would call you a coffee user. Nobody would call you a pizza user. Right. You consume these things, right? User to me is a loaded term. Because you're, especially with, like, you talk about, he's a user. He uses people. He's a user, right? It connotes a control and a domination. So I would change that to actively consuming. What else? A drug habit should be a substance use disorder. What else do we have here? Opioid replacement or methadone maintenance. No. Now it's medication-assisted treatment and medication-assisted recovery. Okay. This is to avoid the stigma of someone being on methadone being called a junkie. Oh, now you're addicted to methadone, right? Just like, I love it when people say, I tell them my story and I told them I was a teenage alcoholic and then I gave it up for marijuana. Oh, you're just substituting one addiction for another. Yes.
And?
Yes, I'm substituting a far safer one. I figured, hey, I'm an addictive kind of guy. What would be the best choice for me?
What's the safest thing to be addicted
to? Live the longest. Oh, I know. Let's pick the safe one. So, and then finally, we are no longer to refer to recreational, casual, or experimental users of drugs, as opposed to those with a use disorder, right? So they're trying to differentiate here. People that are just users of drugs that just like it, they don't have a problem. They are now people who use drugs for non-medical reasons. People starting to use drugs. People who are new to drug use. Or initiates.
Okay.
No, I gotta rewind that. Again, I'm not cool with any of those. Again, we talked about how consumer, right? People who starting to use drugs. Using drugs implies that there is a purpose that the drugs are being used for, right? Like Kaliko said, we use a blowtorch. Well, what do you use a blowtorch for? To make things hot. You use a pair of scissors. Why? To cut things. You don't use something without there being an implication that it is a utility to achieve something with something else.
To play devil's advocate, could it be that you're using to get high?
That would be the one.
Okay.
I guess you could say that. You're using drugs to get high. But then you're using turkey sandwiches to satiate hunger.
Okay, that's fair.
So well,
it could be redundant, but I mean, I feel like it still works.
But there's some. I gotta give the drug czar some credit, though. At least understanding that there's a stigma that we're trying to end here. It's not just enough to stop arresting us; it's to stop stigmatizing us. And if if this is the first move in that direction, the first baby step the drug czar's office can make, then it's a good one.
Absolutely.
The beginning of the end started in 1996 when California legalized weed for so-called medical purposes. 16 years later, Washington and Colorado legalized it outright and let people sell it from storefronts. And what has been the result?
The generation of millions of dollars in tax revenue for the states and creation of hundreds of new jobs in a growing multi-billion-dollar industry?
No. Well, yes, but at what cost?
Let's see. The cost of all that police time and money that's now spent going after real criminals and prisons with enough room to hold them all?
No. Well, yes, but look at what it's done to the people.
You mean that fewer of them are dying of alcohol, tobacco, and prescription-related causes since they've switched to cannabis, and many more are receiving medical benefit from a cheap, non-toxic healing herb?
No. Well, yes to all of that, but I can smell pot from my backyard, and I can't tell my kids not to do it because it's illegal.
You can get 420 Radio on the go with the Ustream video app for Android and iPhone. Go to rad-r.us/420Ustream or just click the Ustream app icon for Android or iPhone below the live radio feed at 420radio.org. At Herbie's Cannabis Seeds, we pride ourselves on bringing you the best quality seeds from the world's most respected cannabis seed producers, all at the lowest online prices. You can find Herbie's Seeds at herbiesheadshop.com. All cannabis seeds are sold as souvenirs and as a means of preserving cannabis genetics. Herbie's Seeds in no way intends to condone, promote, or incite the use of illegal or controlled substances. We strongly urge all prospective customers to check their national laws prior to placing an order. Herbie's Seeds at herbiesheadshop.com. Proud sponsors of the Russ Belville Show. Adam Hand of Handmade Apparel produces quality custom designs for t-shirts, hats, and other apparel. Handmade Apparel is the official design shop for 420 Radio among many clients who rely on Adam Hand for everything from short-run custom projects to full-run clothing lines. Visit handmadeapparel.biz to browse the selection of handmade gear or to get a personal quote for your own designs. Handmade Apparel, a proud supporter of 420radio.org.
Hey, we're back.
Hey.
That's Baeka, B-A-E-K-A, Baeka, I don't know.
Okay.
With Higher Than Before.
Ah.
This is definitely some Tuesday music.
There you go.
The Poot Titty is in full effect.
We're going back into the 90s here.
Yes, that's some of the quality marijuana information you get on Hour 2 of Toker Talk Radio.
Yes.
Tell you all about Poot Titty music. But I do have marijuana information for you. I am going to be a part of the Oregon Medical Marijuana Business Conference.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is taking place March 15th and 16th in Eugene, Oregon at the Hilton. And Ngaio Belam will be emceeing again. And
Right
Del the Funky Homo Sapien will be providing
for real
music again.
Awesome.
I might need an assistant.
I'm actually going to be there representing the Weed Blog.
Oh, well.
I will see you down there, my man.
All right.
I'm super excited, actually.
I'll find someone else to be my assistant.
No, I mean, I can certainly help out. But I'm just saying that I will certainly already be there. I appreciate
That's right.
it.
But this is going to be a great medical marijuana business conference in Oregon. And Alex was asked about this, whether it should be the medical marijuana business or should it just be the marijuana business conference now that it's legal in Oregon. But we're not going to have businesses till 2016. So, no, we just keep it medical for now. But the latest headline on the Weed Blog is that the Oregon Medical Marijuana Business Conference Marijuana Media Panel adds Noel Crombie of the Oregonian.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, the panel is myself and Doug McVeigh. And Doug McVeigh's from Drug Policy Facts, right?
Good man.
You know his show here on the network as well, the Drug Policy Podcast. Noel Crombie is the beat reporter on marijuana for the Oregonian. And, you know, the paper in Denver has the cannabis, right? The Denver Post came up with its whole separate, masthead for this, right? The cannabis. And there are specific blogs for legalization associated with the papers that are in like the Bay Area,
San Francisco,
Seattle. You know, Oregon doesn't really have that yet.
You know, the weeklies have tried. They don't really have anything that's like set up as its own thing, but you know, like the Portland Mercury and the Willamette Week have certainly tried.
Let's get a phone call here. Got a 541 area code dialing in. You're on the air with Toker Talk Radio. What's up?
Hey, Russ, it's Ken of Justice. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Hey, if I just heard you saying you might need an assistant
in Eugene, yeah. Can you make it to
for
Eugene?
I'm in the area. Yeah, I live in Eugene.
Oh, well, dude. All right, hit me up on
perfect.
email. We'll get this all worked out.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
That's easy.
All right.
How awesome the internet is, huh?
Thanks, Justice. We'll talk to you later.
See you later.
Yeah, so it's a Sunday Monday conference, which I kind of like these Sunday Mondays that they're doing.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
it's a nice approach.
Yeah, I know some people are upset because you have to take the day off work for it or whatever, but I kind of like it in that the Monday gets really down to business, and it's not feeling like it's the end of a weekend.
Yeah.
And plus, the people that are there, well, for one, these conferences, and this is one downside, right? Back in the day, there used to be like normal national conferences that we did.
Yeah.
Normal doesn't do national conferences anymore. They do regional conferences. But now all of these expos and business conferences and all these things that are happening, some of them are pretty spendy to get into. And so it's good in one sense that you have this higher end kind of business focused thing, right? But there also still needs to be things for the general public to be able to go to and not break the bank, and to bring marijuana education to the public in a way they can afford, in a form they can, that they'll enjoy.
Yes.
That's what we'll be doing with Portland Normal and 420 Radio.
Yes.
So there's going to be plenty of all of this. And for those of you who can't, afford to make it to these business conferences, that's the other thing that we do is, we've built this relationship with Alex and the folks at these business conferences to allow us to do those interviews. So you don't get to see like Ethan Nadelman's, keynote speech, but you get to hear him say a lot of the same stuff when he's interviewing with me afterwards. Right. So that'll be a lot of what we're going to be doing there as well. So check out our pages at 420radio.org and my YouTube page at Radical Russ. And that's where they get the videos uploaded, as I like to call it, damn near live. Like
as close as you can get.
As close as I can get. I've tried the live streaming, and every time I've tried it, it's been a big hassle. So.
It's kind of a pain in the butt, man.
Yeah,
it takes some technology.
Not going to do it.
It takes some teamwork.
Not going to do it. And then the Tuesday after that, right? So Sunday and Monday, Eugene, Oregon. Tuesday, I will be Tuesday through Friday. This will be March 17th through the 20th, I think that is. Yeah, 17th through the 20th. But I'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I fly out like Friday morning. I will be spending 3 days in Texas, the Lone Star State.
We'll
be in Arlington, Texas, staying with Sean McAllister from DFW Normal. But on Tuesday night, the 17th, I'm involved in, I think they called it the Blunt Truth. Yeah, they're calling it the Blunt Truth for marijuana legalization. And I'm representing the liberal viewpoint, apparently.
Yes.
And someone else is representing the conservative viewpoint.
Yeah, liberal.
The rumor was that it was going to be Kevin Sabet, but I don't know if they got him or not.
That would be a very fun lineup.
Yeah. So it's me and the conservative, and then there's supposed to be someone else who's the moderate or something. I don't know. So 3 of us, I guess. I don't know what the moderate
But I thought that Kevin was the moderate.
Oh, that's right. Maybe he's the moderate. Maybe so. I don't know. It is Texas. They get a Texas sheriff that'd be far to the right of Kevin Sabet.
That's true.
Yeah, they get somebody like that up there. But so that'll be March 17th. I'll bring as much of it to you as I can.
That'll be a fun trip for you, man.
And then the 18th and 19th, I'll do my show from Texas. I'm not sure where yet. And I also have some states to get filled in on my back. So I'll be visiting my tattoo artist.
There you go.
That would be Lucky Horseshoe Tattoo in Fort Worth, Texas.
Shout out.
If you're in Fort Worth, that's where you need to get your ink done, folks. As we're winding up the show here, just a couple more quick little notes. Of course, you should be checking out the Weed Blog every day. Our man Wiz Coleco now running the advertising.
Actually, just started recently working for the Weed Blog, selling advertising for all of the cannabis-related businesses out there in the world. So if you guys know anybody who's looking to take advantage of, a couple million views per month, then you should hit me up, Coleco@theweedblog.com. And we're also going to be looking to get into monetizing Russ's show here pretty soon, so that Russ can be freed up to do a lot more of these events and fly out to a lot more places around the country. So we're definitely looking forward to doing a lot of big things here in 2015.
Vendicar says, how about Nancy Grace? Yeah, we can get me on Nancy Grace.
There you go.
I mean, the show.
Yeah, that's okay. I took it as that. That's right.
We have some disturbing news out of New Jersey. Authorities say the 20th marijuana wax arrest was made in Hunterdon. That's right, 20th.
They've arrested 20 marijuana waxes.
20th arrest for alleged possession of marijuana wax. Marijuana wax, also known as honey butter, earwax, BHO, butane honey oil, in its gooey form, and shatter for its more refined and brittle form, is made from marijuana by soaking it in butane. All right. The result can be up to 90% THC, which is the intoxicating substance contained in marijuana. It can be smoked in an e-cigarette or vapor pen or another device by which a dab of BHO is applied to a superheated surface to produce a cloud of smoke. Getting high this way is known as dabbing. Flemington Detective Sergeant William Svard said he had heard of this form of marijuana 2 years ago, but this is the first time borough police have found any in town. He is particularly disturbed by the adding of potentially harmful chemicals which increase the safety risks of using this substance. Wax is highly potent and highly dangerous because its full effects can't be predicted. In the manufacture of illegal drugs, unknown chemicals or other drugs can be added and there's no quality control. Yeah? We agree. How about you legalize that stuff so we can know what's in it? Well, folks, they're terrified of the wax in New Jersey. We are just going to use some ourselves right here in Portland.
I'm pretty excited about it.
All the time we got for today. Time flies when you legalize. Thanks for joining us. For everyone here, Wiz Khalico, I'm Radical Russ. Until next time, take care of each other, tokers.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at RadicalRuss.com.
You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant